Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Thomas, and today I want to post another video kind of on the same topic as my last one, and then this one's kind of focusing mostly on, are we in the next junk wax era? So I want to go over the yes argument, the no argument, and then my takeaway. And yeah, so let's go and start off with no. So the reason why I don't think that we are in the junk wax era right now, we have to keep in mind junk wax era kind of consisted from around 1987 to around 1995. That's what most people consider the junk wax era. Basically, what happened was as collectibles, as sports collectibles and sports cars got more popular, during that time period, these companies started producing at very large quantities. Basically, I feel like was their shortcoming was there just wasn't rare stuff to be had. They'd have like a 300 card base set, and you want to collect every card from that base set. But the thing was that they were just producing these over and over and over again, so you could complete a whole set relatively easily. And there was just so many cards to go around, and there was no rare stuff, no numbered stuff, no case hits, none of these inserts like this, and everything was on old card stock, none of this premium stuff that we have now. So that, I feel like, is one of the biggest arguments for reason why we're not in the next junk wax era, is that we have all of these different types of cards, new players, patch cards, autographs, all of these things that we have going for us. That basically are like spicing the hobby up. Really, another thing too is we're just seeing a demand on another level, because as cards were getting popular in that time, that was really kind of the first big boom that we had seen. And now those people that experienced that boom are now experiencing this boom. So now we got two layers. We have people that are doing this for the first time, and people who've been in this hobby for decades and decades. So I'm feeling a lot of demand and a lot of people out here enjoying the hobby. There's just a lot of opportunities, and as the internet's basically flourished, really easy to sell cards, which is something that wasn't easy to do back in the 80s and the 90s. At least not nearly as easy as is to do now. Obviously, I'm not young, so I didn't really live through that time period, but I can tell you that it's pretty easy to sell cards on eBay, or even to go to a show, sell locally. I mean, there's so many different things and different options we have to sell cards now. So that's really the reason why I feel like we're not in the junk wax era at the moment. It's possible from that point of view that we'll see if cards keep getting produced more and more, that stuff starts to kind of lose its value as there's just so much produced. But as far as the no argument goes, I feel like it's pretty strong. I feel like that there's a lot of things going for the reason that we're not in the junk wax era. So now let's go into why I think that we are going in the next junk wax era. So anyway, now I want to go into why I feel like we are going to the next junk wax era. Kind of having to do with the same argument I had prior to why I feel like we're not going to the next junk wax era. And that is, there's just an abundance of numbered case hits, autos, patch cards that we're seeing. Look at patch cards, right? Patch cards 5, 6, 7 years ago, right, when the hobby was not nearly as large as it is now, a lot of stuff was game worn. Obviously, premium sets was almost guaranteed to be game worn, but even like retail stuff you could pull out was game worn, at the very least player worn. But now we're seeing almost everything, even in sets like Flawless, stuff being not even player worn. You know, I can understand not being game worn, difficult to get game worn jerseys, but for like literally everything to just be some jersey they pulled out of a shop that any of us could buy, stick it in there, just completely takes away the cool factor. It's literally just a piece of jersey and a card, and it's like one of those manufactured patches. Like, it has basically no meaning. But there's just so much like authentic memorabilia cards. So I think that's kind of a good telltale sign to see that we are going into them mass producing stuff and just not being able to meet with the demand for game worn and player worn jerseys. I also just feel like that we're seeing a very just large increase in these number cards, the case hits, and just like, when is there too much supply? That's kind of my concerns that we are going to the next junk wax era, is that there is just a lot of new product coming out. There's a ton of sets. If you go look up right now how many Trevor Lawrence rookie cards there are, over 580 different Trevor Lawrence rookie cards. And if you think about someone like Brett Favre or Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady, I think, maybe has around like 20 different rookie cards, right? That is a fraction of how many cards that Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, any of these new guys have. That is kind of my concern there. But I want to go into my key takeaways here and what I think you can do to make sure you're safe, just kind of like the last video, and just key takeaways. So guys, I'll wrap this video up with my key takeaways and what I think that you should be collecting to keep yourself safe going forward in the hobby. Now, do I think the market is going to collapse anytime soon? No, I do not. Do I feel like that we should be too concerned about the junk wax era right now? I do not. But here's what I will tell you. You want to collect, and this is just my opinion, but you want to collect the top tier sets, right? For instance, Optic rated rookies. These are probably going to be one of the best rookie cards of players to keep. So numbered Optic rated rookie cards are going to be your friend. I even have my assumption is that they're actually going to overtake Prism going in the future because that rated rookie and they're on that premium card stock. I think people are just going to love it in the long run. And you have those on-card rookie autos, which just look perfect. Sets you might want to stay away from, right? I love this card, my Tom Brady Absolute out of 100, right? Very hard card to come by, but it's absolute, right? It's got a Kaboom. That's a rare insert, but otherwise, the base rookie cards out of there, not going to hold their value long term. Even numbered stuff like this, cool, but I would keep it like this, like super low numbered stuff. But you just want to make sure that's premium sets. But you want to go Select, Mosaic, Optic, Contenders Optic, and Donruss Optic, and Prism, and then Flawless, Immaculate, National Treasures. And I would just stick to that. I wouldn't do anything else if you're thinking long term. It's just those other sets are too risky. I feel like they're going to fall out. They're not going to hold their value unless someone breaks out. If Justin Herbert becomes the next Tom Brady, then maybe all of his rookie cards will hold some value. If he becomes, a good quarterback, a good solid quarterback, maybe someone like Drew Brees, his top rookie cards out of the best sets will have a good value, but the rest of the stuff is just not going to hold up because there's just not enough demand there. Just pick the best sets, stick with that, pick the best players. You should be good to go. Just stay away from lower end sets, riskier cars, riskier players, and that is my takeaway. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my take on if we're going in the junk wax era. If you have any other questions, please comment them down below. I'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, that's just my takeaway. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys hopefully here soon. Should be posting another video next couple days. Thank you guys for watching.